During a raid off the coast of Crimea on September 11, 2024, fighters from the Raven Group unit as part of the Timur Special Forces of the Main Intelligence Directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine used FPV drones from boats in the open sea for the first time. This was reported by the Main Intelligence Directorate of the Ministry of Defense, and a video was shown showing exclusive footage of the scouts' combat work. Thanks to this component of the operation, the HUR soldiers were able to suppress the enemy's firepower on the Petr Godovanets gas production platform in the Black Sea, the information states. It is noted that the occupiers suffered losses among personnel and equipment. The fight for the Ukrainian sea continues. The Main Intelligence Directorate notes. As reported earlier, in September 2024, all the so-called Boyko rigs in the Black Sea caught fire. This was reported by the monitoring group, Crimean Wind, with reference to satellite imagery data. The strikes hit 3 drilling platforms located east of Snake Island. Boyko's rigs are the name given to the gas drilling platforms, Petr Godovanets and Ukraine. They were built in 2010 and 2012, respectively. In March 2014, the drilling rigs were seized by Russian troops. Later, the Petr's court of Kiev seized the rigs. Recall, President Volodymyr Zelensky issued a decree in February ordering the creation of a separate branch of the armed forces for drones, called Unmanned Systems Forces, to command the rapidly evolving drone warfare in Russia's war against Ukraine. Cheaper to operate and more precise than most artillery systems, drones quickly became one of the main tools for Ukraine to fend off Russia's assaults amid chronic artillery ammunition shortages.
Russia's largest Baltic port, Ust-Luga, is introducing additional security measures after a series of unexplained tanker incidents. Every vessel heading to the port must now undergo a mandatory underwater hull inspection. This was reported by Bloomberg, citing informed sources. The decision to inspect the bottoms of ships was made by the port administration back in early July, and recently Russian dictator Vladimir Putin issued a decree according to which, from July the 22nd, access to Russian seaports for foreign ships is possibly only with permission from the FSB. So far, similar measures have not been applied in other ports in the country. In addition to inspections, ships are now required to have a Russian insurance policy covering the risks of leaks, accidents, and collisions. This requirement applies to all arriving ships, regardless of flag and cargo. Ust-Luga is receiving special attention because it has been the site of 2 suspicious incidents in recent months. In February, the tanker Koala, which was at anchor, sustained damage that resulted in an oil spill. Local authorities then said it was an incident caused by human error. In early July, another vessel, the Echo Wizard, which was carrying liquefied gas, experienced an ammonia leak. Following these events, owners of ships that had visited Russian ports began to conduct their own inspections for mines using divers and underwater equipment. In the wake of these incidents, Russian authorities have announced large-scale plans to strengthen the protection of the Baltic ports. In the first half of July, Russia's main port administration announced a tender for underwater inspection of ships in all major Baltic ports, including Primorsk and Vysotsk. The total contract budget is 3.16 billion rubles, approximately $40.4 million. In parallel, new rules introduced by Putin have already affected logistics in the Black Sea region. Due to the need to obtain permits from the FSB, oil shipments have been temporarily suspended at two major terminals, Novorossiysk and the Caspian Pipeline Consortium, CPC. The security measures taken after the explosions reflect the recommendations of the Russian Security Council, which had previously advocated for strengthening the protection of strategic infrastructure. So far, no official explanations have been given for the reasons for the incidents in Ust-Luga. The Ust-Luga port administration itself refused to comment to Bloomberg journalists. Russian officer and well-known Z propagandist Ivan Otrakovsky spoke frankly about the deplorable state of affairs in the Russian army. He confirmed the deep crisis and massive losses. According to him, during the first 6 months of the full-scale war against Ukraine, the Russian occupation army has practically lost its professional backbone. Over the past 6 months, we have lost almost our entire professional army. The airborne forces, probably 70 to 80%. The Marines and the Special Forces, admitted Otrakovsky. He noted that these units were often thrown into battle without preparation or logic. They were often thrown into assaults because of this incompetent and, most importantly, criminal management of the troops, the Z Patriot specified. After the mobilization began, according to Otrakovsky, the situation became even more dire. People without proper training remain at the front for years without hope of rotation. These are terrible things. People were simply taken and abandoned, and they have been at the front for 4 years now. There is burnout. I watch videos, including from the other side, from our opponents. I see how UAVs kill our soldiers, who, seeing that death is flying at them, often shoot themselves in the head. Otrakovsky noted. He also spoke about the facts of seriously wounded Russian soldiers returning to the front lines. They are not in a condition to conduct combat operations. Their legs are beaten, broken, and they are still trying to return them to the front. How will they fight? What benefit can they bring being in such a state? Asked the Z Patriot. According to him, people in the army are treated as expendable material. This is the approach to people. People are not loved, valued, or respected. He also accused the command of deliberately destroying its own soldiers and issuing state awards for this. We know units where there are butchers who kill personnel en masse and receive Hero of Russia titles for it. Such people are held in high esteem by the authorities, Otrakovsky stated.